What's going on, guys? This is Matt Kowalis. Feel free to check me out over on X at Moneyline Matt8, where I drop the Thursday night football breakdowns, the Sunday slate best bets, some same game parlays, and of course, with the NBA right around the corner, that is where I hit it the hardest. So feel free to check me out over at Moneyline Matt8. Or I will be on X's and Bros Radio with Anthony Bellino every single Friday, break down the Lions game. And of course, I give you a best bet for that upcoming slate. And we have hit 3 of those in a row. Again, every single Friday at 8:17 a.m. Going to link those both right here. But with that being said, we were hot last week. We had a lot of really good videos with a lot of good picks. Looking to keep that going with Thursday night football as the Jacksonville Jaguars go on the road to face off against the New Orleans Saints. Right now, that is a -2 spread for the New Orleans Saints. The over-under is set at 40 to go with it. And in this spot, we are going to be going with the New Orleans Saints -2. And here is why. For one, the New Orleans Saints are coming off an ugly loss to the Houston Texans, where they were on the road. This is going to be their first game back in New Orleans since week 4, and that was also a spot where they lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The New Orleans Saints have not won at home since week 1 of the NFL season, and I think this is a team looking to get right in their home stadium in front of their home crowd. Also, you take a look at the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. You know, this is a team that has won 3 games in a row. They're very hot. But starting quarterback Trevor Lawrence does have a knee injury coming into this matchup. But for me, even if Trevor Lawrence plays or if he does not play, I am still with the New Orleans Saints. To me, this is not a Jacksonville Jaguars team that is going to go on very many extended win streaks. You know, they're still very inconsistent up and down in terms of their level of play. I don't expect them to be able to do the same against a New Orleans Saints team who is also very good on the defensive side of the ball. Which also leads me to my next point, the over-under. Okay, the over-under is set at 40, and I am definitely looking at the under in this spot. This is going to be a grinded-out style football game. For one, when you take a look at this New Orleans Saints team, this is a Saints team who only twice has scored over 20 points this season, and also their opponents have only gone over 20 points twice this season on top of that. So very good defensive team, a team that doesn't always hit their stride on the offensive side of the ball, even though they have a ton of weapons like Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara is back, Jamal Williams is going to be coming back on top of that. So this could be a spot they start to get it going a little bit more, but still don't see them being very explosive here. And you know, with this game being in New Orleans, in front of their home crowd, I think they get going, and I think they make things very difficult for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then when you look at this Jaguars defense, this is a defense that I guess is a little underrated, but in terms of passing, you know, they're not very good whatsoever. And that's why in terms of player prop, and as you know, I give 1 spread pick, 1 player prop, and an anytime touchdown score. Just threw in that total play on top of that because I really do like the underlook here. I'd be pretty surprised if both offenses hit their stride in this spot. Again, especially with Trevor Lawrence and his knee injury on top of that. But for today's player prop, we're looking at Chris Olave over 62.5 receiving yards, and here's why. Once again, with this Jacksonville Jaguars passing defense, they are 31st throughout the entire NFL, giving up 270.3 yards per game. On top of that, they are 22nd in passing touchdowns giving up per game with 1.5. So for me, really love the look of Chris Olave here. He's hit this line in 3 out of 6 matchups this season. He's coming off a hit on top of that. I think he really starts to hit his stride now that Derek Carr, you know, it seems like his health is improving. It seems like he's really starting to get his feet under him, start to figure out this Saints offense. Yeah, they're not scoring a ton, but they're still passing, and him and Olave are starting to hit these numbers. Again, they've hit it 3 times. Chris Olave has also only scored once this entire season, and that's why I'm not only going with Chris Olave with the receiving yards, I'm also going with Chris Olave anytime touchdown score at plus 170. I think this is a great spot. I think Olave is the guy in this matchup that hits that play over the top. 30, 40-yard gains, something along those lines, gives the New Orleans Saints the momentum they need to maybe score a touchdown and, ending up covering this spread and winning this game. So for me, it's going to be Chris Olave over 62.5 receiving yards, and it's going to be Chris Olave anytime touchdown score. But for this video, guys, that is it. We're going to go over this one more time. We got the New Orleans Saints -2 at home. We're going to be going with the under 40 in this spot. Chris Olave over 62.5 receiving yards. Chris Olave anytime touchdown score at +170. Those are the 4 plays for today. Let's see if we can't get a clean sweep. And I know you guys like it. I switched up the background. You got to kind of see that Steph Curry autograph. Got that autographed a couple weeks ago. Pretty hyped about that. Shout out my boy Chris Phelps for making that happen. But again, guys, I am Matt Kowalis. Check me out on X's and Bros Radio with Anthony Bellino tomorrow morning, 8:17 a.m. We've hit 3 of our best bets in a row, and I break down the Detroit Lions matchup every single week. Check it out. Going to link that right here. Again, I am Matt Kowalis, and I am out, y'all. Peace out.